Hey, I'm Hailey.
And I'm Jessi.
And you're listening to
Personality Hire, the podcast where before we address why we're incognito, I want to say that Dubai chocolate needs to fade into the background. It needs to have a seat.
It needs to go
It needs
Dubai.
There needs to be the sunset on Dubai chocolate. And I feel weird bringing this up because I know I brought up candy in our last episode.
Yeah.
The UK candy scandal.
Our UK friend Karina.
I know. She probably
had some things to say.
Wanted to absolutely have my head. But Dubai chocolate, like, we've seen it. We know it. We get it. We get it. And I don't need any more Dubai chocolate desserts. No more donuts. I don't need any more. They're making cookies now. They're doing any sweet treat you can think of. They've made into Dubai chocolate. And I'd like to move on.
Okay. My question is, I've never even tried Dubai chocolate. Every time I look at it though, I'm just in my mind, and I've not asked anyone, and I am asking now, and I'm not really searching for a real answer. I just want you to know that I've assumed that Dubai chocolate is matcha chocolate. Because all I see is the green, and matcha is so huge now. And I think people are lying about liking matcha. Sorry, I think they are.
I love matcha.
You're lying.
No, I love it. You know what I really want you to try? Again, I'm going to go to Whole World Market. Don't worry. They're matcha Kit Kats. I know we talked about Kit Kats last time too, but they're good. But wait,
okay.
I have to tell you,
but
Dubai chocolate is not matcha.
No, it's definitely not.
It's pistachio. That's the green in Dubai chocolate.
Okay, so
it's pistachio and these little tiny slivers of this sort of dry pastry called, it starts with a K, and it's not kefir. It's something similar to that. Okay. It's kefir,
kafar, wherever you
are.
Kafar.
And mixed with like pistachio with chocolate on the outside. And, you know, it is good. Like, the texture is cool. Like, it's crunchy.
Yeah.
It's also kind of smooth, which, you know, it's an experience.
Yeah.
And I like that it came, and I'd like for it to go. I just want to usher in, I'm like ready for something new, you know?
I welcome any and all collabs for Reese's and Oreo to keep doing their thing.
Thank you.
But other than that, I don't really have too many opinions.
Okay. Well, I just feel like it's just...
Except people are lying about Dubai chocolate, and they're also lying
about matcha.
That's
Matcha's
my
good,
biggest conspiracy theory that I believe in.
That people are lying about liking matcha.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I guess that's... And the Tracy Anderson Method. That's a lie.
Let's talk about it. Hi guys, welcome to Personality Hire. If you're not watching on YouTube, Hailey and I are wearing sunglasses today, and we have our hoodies on.
Big daddying it.
We don't feel that tight. So we wanted our outside to match our insides today. And so...
Which is don't perceive us.
Don't perceive me.
But we are going to talk on a podcast for an hour, and we're going to put it on the internet. But don't perceive us.
Not with your eyeballs, at least today.
Also, what is that? I do not want to be perceived ever, but I put myself in situations. Is this a childhood thing?
You do want to be perceived, though, but you want to be perceived within your own limits of control.
Right. But I let everybody see me in all different ways. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but they're all in control. You're in control of all the ways that you're being perceived.
I guess I'm the one who's doing it.
But when you're out in the world, that's different.
Is this a form of self-harm?
You're a little bit of a masochist.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're in control of this perception.
Hate this.
Like, okay, so Hailey and I love the 1975, and this leads me into one of my favorite lyrics in one of their songs. And he being Maddie Healy, says him. He says, "Why do you believe you can control how you're perceived when at your best you're intermediately versed in your own feelings?" And I'm pretty sure I've said this before. I feel like I said this like a year ago, but so why do you believe you can control how you're perceived when at the best you're intermediately versed in the way that you feel about yourself? Like, so we can't control how we're perceived, but the urge to do it is there. The urge to like control your perception. When I walk outside.
But why do I put myself in situations to
be perceived?
Yeah.
Because you have the undying, unwavering sense inside of yourself to perform, and that is in itself a perception.
I love performing.
I know you do, and that's being perceived, but you're controlling in some aspects how you're being perceived in your performance. When you go to the grocery store and you're picking out your bunch of kale, you cannot control your perception in that moment of how other people are looking at you. But I think what Maddie's trying to say though to us, what he's trying to put down, we got to pick it up, is he's saying you got to let that go.
Yeah,
you got to let that go. You can't control it.
You know what is funny though too is I don't actually think about being perceived. I'm just like, don't do it. I don't think about all the different ways usually. I think I don't have that part of anxiety.
I don't either. But what rattles around in my head more often than being perceived is people are wrapped up in themselves more than they're wrapped up in me. And I think about that more often because I'm like, they're really actually probably not perceiving me because they're in their own head perceiving themselves. And that gets me by.
Yeah.
That lets me sleep at night. Because if I really did think about all the ways that I'm perceived, because I also put myself out there, not only via this podcast and in other silly, willy-nilly old ways that some of you will never know. Hopefully they'll never air or make the light of day. I also am perceived like in my community. I'm very involved. I volunteer to do things. I put myself out there in that way. And if I was worried about the perception that I gave off, I would never have fun. I really wouldn't. And I know you feel the same way.
Yeah, I never think about it.
I think we should ping pong back though to what you originally said, which again, excellent use of your free will to talk about
Tracy Anderson.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's talk about it. I want to talk about her.
Okay. So I've got to say that I remember back in the day, like Hills era, you know what I mean? The show Hills, Laguna Beach-ish time.
Let's go back.
Yes. Back to the beginning. But it was like around then that I think I first saw Tracy Anderson, maybe on, I don't know, it had to have been on the internet or it had to be in a magazine. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of the ways I could have known.
Well, she's over 50 years old now, which is wild because she looks absolutely insane.
26.
But my point in mentioning her age is just to say like she's experienced, like, and she's been in the industry for a minute.
Yes,
that's why I mentioned her age, not other than just for that reason.
Well, good, because that's what I was getting to is that she has been in the zeitgeist for a long time. Guys, when these videos pop up on my feed, I'm worried about everyone's hip flexors. Everyone's hip flexors are about to blow because this little lady has these really heavy ankle weights and wrist weights on, and she's just going. And what I'm doing right now for the listeners is interpretive dancing.
She's vibing.
And then I also have 87 jewels on.
The other thing,
you hear them going cling,
I think
cling,
it's
cling,
important to know about
huge hoops.
Tracy Anderson, to know about this method, if you're not familiar with her, is that when you go into her studio, there's two things I want you to know. Number one, there is no talking from the instructors. Everyone in the class is expected to follow along with this method without any vocal cues or instructions, and you just have to look at the instructor and you have to replicate what she's doing. Second,
she's rolling around on the ground.
There's a lot of writhing,
with ankle weights,
and there's a lot of fluid movement. So I guess you could say that it is like intuitive. It was intuitive in the sense of like if you're watching her, one movement does flow into the other, but it also doesn't make any damn sense because you can't expect me to know what I'm working or what I should be like. When am I engaging my core? When am I engaging other muscles? Like there just needs to be cues. And the second thing I want to bring up is that there are these big, long resistance bands that are hanging from the ceiling that they sometimes ask you to reach up to the heavens and pull down these resistance bands that are attached to the ceiling. And every time I see it, I'm like, if you were to let one go too fast and your neighbor is next to you writhing around, that could smack them right in the face.
And it happens. You know it does.
It does. It has to.
People are going there because they're like, I've got to be seen where there's people being seen, seeing people.
Perceiving people.
Perceived. And they go to like get their band and they have all their jewels on. And then a tennis, like a diamond tennis bracelet just shatters. Bazing. And Tracy's like, move through the hardship.
But she's not. She's not saying a word.
But she's saying looking it with her eyes in the mirror, and she's doing this
only with her eyes.
Only with her eyes.
The other thing is that like this is a very beloved.
Just look up a video, guys.
It's a very beloved celebrity thing. Like Gwyneth Paltrow is famously one of her most like well-known clients, and she works with her. The other thing that's interesting that what I wanted to bring up too about the Tracy Anderson Method is that she recently was in a lawsuit with another smaller creator of a method that isn't exactly the same as Tracy's, but it utilizes a lot of the same sort of movements because, spoiler alert, exercise is really effective. Exercise is really made up of like a core amount of movements. Like that's, I think, objectively true. Like there's a lot that you can do in different modalities, but at the heart of all exercise, there's only so many things you can do with your body before you break your bone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so they just recently had a lawsuit and it went to court, and the most interesting thing that came from this lawsuit was that Tracy Anderson was suing this other woman for her method, saying that she basically was swiping the Tracy Anderson method for her own platform. But what was ruled in this court case was that you can legally brand and have proprietary knowledge in terms of like the way your brand is set up or the way that you talk about your exercises, but the execution of exercises, you cannot claim that that's your property. Like an exercise, you cannot say the movement in this way is the property of my brand. And I thought that was really interesting. And I think that it's really cool for us to have that kind of like ruling right now, because you can't say that you came up with a movement. No, like you can't. Like you can say that you came up with the Tracy Anderson method, full stop. You absolutely can. But what's inside of the method, you can't say that, because we're still working off of a base core number of movements that every exercise is built on some similar principles. Yeah. And that just feels like you're saying that you invented water, you know, or like you invented like running.
Well, sometimes when we hear about these song lawsuits, like copyright infringement with like, you know, melodies and all that, I'm like, there are only so many that we can strum up on our guitars right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
unless you're Charlie Puth.
Yes. But he would even tell us. He would. He heard like he just did a do on a piano, and he goes, you know what that reminds me of? And he goes, hi, I'm Paul. He was talking about the end of Jimmy Neutron, the production company's little jingle. Hi, I'm Paul. Hi, so I'm Paul. If he can't even do a little ditty on his keyboard, his travel keyboard that he takes alongside him when he's nervous, then why can we sue on that?
We can't. Let's just all say the thing that I think that we've taken, you bring this up sometimes, which is interesting. I think we've taken this like a little bit too far right now in space and time, is intellectual property. And I know that that's really important right now in terms of like making film and TV shows, because IP, as they call it in the biz, a lot of IP doesn't get made because they know you run a risk. There's no stats, there's no anything to prove, historical data to prove that it will be successful. So they lean into things that are already proven, like sequels and prequels and making sure that like it's a remake of an old movie or an old TV show, whatever, because they know it's popular. So IP, it's a struggle to get those things made because there's no proof that it's going to be successful. And I think that like the IP of songs, like let's just, to your point, like it can still be your intellectual property that you made up in your head, but it might sound like something that was also made up 50, 60, 70 years ago, because there's only so many chords we're working with.
Let's just Marvin Gaye and get it on.
Also, as long as the lyrics aren't the same, like the lyrics, I feel like you have a better chance of it being like really different than this, maybe the chord progressions. You know?
Yeah. I like that we're both messing with our hoods because we are having receding hood lines.
I know. And my forehead is so big that I know that you guys are looking at me on YouTube going like, where does the hood end and her forehead begin?
No, personality or vice versa. Higher. It's about our foreheads.
It's about Hailey and I both do have nice high foreheads.
We do.
And I have heard that was a sign of wealth.
Of intelligence.
Not intelligence.
You can see their brain from way over here.
No, just wealth, not intelligence. Just wealth back in the day. Just because we have big foreheads doesn't mean the brains inside of them are that big. I don't know. Mine is messed up. I'm working on fixing it. So, you know, God, but this is necessary.
Also, speaking of proven IP that will sell. Last night, I watched the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary. Yes, it was so awesome.
Oh, good.
Obviously, I cried.
I'm glad you liked it. I was wondering. I saw her like little red carpet thing, and I was thinking about you because it looked really sweet.
It was just so sweet. It was so cute. Miley did such a good job. And at one point, they had the creator, I guess, of Hannah Montana and her talking. He was like, Miley, I've got this email. I want to show you this email about that I was betting on you, which I think is so funny. And me and Justin both looked at each other and we were like, girl, she was a risk, because he said you were a risk. And I guess she was, but she's not, like, and he just basically was just saying like, I think she's going to be a star. Let's bet on Miley. Whatever, but her dad is Billy Ray Cyrus, a country star. They auditioned together. I saw their audition tapes. If I'm putting a minor on set and her dad can be there, literally involved with the project, I'm thinking this is a good thing.
And he might have also bet on her, but she's also a nepo baby. Like, she's very talented, but she's a nepo baby. You're not betting on a nepo baby. That's a sure thing.
You're talking about a pop star, like, character, an undercover, and then you have her and her dad where they can write music together and create all of this new IP. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting that he said betting on you. I was betting on Miley Cyrus. I'm like, I'm cooked if that's the case.
Well, if you're having to bet, I mean, maybe too, he was trying to say he was betting on the concept of the show, because he was
talking about Miley. He said we were I was betting on you, because it was in the decision of who do we like when it was down to,
But it is kind of like a silly goose concept for a show in a fun, good way.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing concept. I still stand by it.
I like that she is embracing it still.
Oh, she was so cute and funny, and I loved hearing everything she had to say.
Her hair looked great. Her little banger rings
looked amazing.
Because didn't Hannah Montana have banger rings?
Yes, her hair looks as if she was season 1 and season 2 Hannah with the good wig, and she just looked like a mature version.
Yeah, she looked cute, grown-up
Hannah, and I was just. I was so emo the whole time.
I'm glad you got to see it.
This is, at first I thought it was just going to be on Disney Plus and I wasn't going to be able to say it because there's so much on Disney Plus I haven't seen. But I was thinking it was. And then I saw Hulu and I said, girl, wait.
You said, I got the limo out front.
Is that Orlando Bloom?
Is that what she says?
Yeah. Well, not at
all the pirates, she chose to mention Orlando Bloom.
I know.
Good grief.
Is that Orlando Bloom?
Hailey and I yesterday, we were chatting because we already mentioned this briefly, but we both love Charlie Puth because there's something about him that just resonates with me and always has. And I don't know why. Like, it took me a while to get into his music because I feel in the beginning he was like making pop music that just was a little bit too like the collabs seemed forced.
Yes.
And maybe like it was like the label
making it. It's a beautiful song, but I don't like the actual song. He is beautiful and I like the sentiment and I like their voices together, but like that song isn't my favorite Charlie Puth song. He wrote it
and produced it. And so I think that it's cool what it came to mean in terms of like Paul Walker and stuff. But I was thinking too about like the song he did with Meghan Trainor.
Oh, and or with Selena. That's when they were dating.
Yeah.
What we don't talk anymore. Which, dang, then that became his song. Well, sorry, I'm gossiping.
Art imitates life. But I think that the more he has grown as an artist, the more that I've grown alongside him and I really enjoyed his music. And I also, beyond that, have always felt that there's like something underneath him as a person that I related to and I really could never pinpoint it. But I was like, there's something about this man that his spirit like speaks to me. So anyway, he is coming out with a new album in the next couple days. It's called Whatever's Clever. And Scooby-Doo loves Charlie Puth. Hailey and I went to go see Charlie Puth a few years ago. We had like third row tickets. It was like such a great experience. And Scooby-Doo is going to go to her first concert in Atlanta, her first true one, to see Charlie Puth. And so he came out with a new podcast for a CBS. It's a CBS podcast, and it's called "Who Believed in Me First" or something like that.
Wait, this is his podcast?
No. It's not. Okay. But he was a guest on this podcast.
Okay, yes.
And the person who interviews him for it is a CBS journalist. And so he's really, really good. He made Charlie feel so comfortable. This man's interview,
it's so good,
it's
guys.
so good. And now I know why I've always felt connected to him. He is me. I am him. We have so many similarities. And like, first of all, he's a highly sensitive person, which I am a highly sensitive person. And like, if you don't know what that is, there's a whole book about it. There's a checklist you can find online. Maybe you're one too. Take a look at it. But he is so sensitive in so many ways to sound and music. He's sensitive in terms of like the way he has relationships with his family and his friends and his wife. And he just is so sweet. And he really opened up and he was so vulnerable. And it really made me feel empowered to be like, vulnerability is, we talked about this in the last episode, so hard and so scary, especially on a platform like a podcast. But it's so necessary if you want to make a true connection.
Yeah.
And that whole podcast, bless Charlie Puth, dude, I'm just so proud of him.
I know, it's nice. I thought it was such a good podcast too, because it was true. First of all, a real journalist doing real journalistic work. This man,
he did some wizardry to get him to open up.
He was good. He was real good. But what I loved hearing so much was just the constant, you could tell that Charlie was really in the moment and not thinking about what to say, rather than he was truly responding. It was a true conversation.
It felt like there was no media training.
Yeah, there was no like, you could tell that there were no questions that he wasn't about to answer, and he was expecting any question at any moment. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell he was nervous in that way, which let me know that he showed up ready to like lay it all out, because he was already nervous that he had to. And I thought that was a cool feeling to have. Like, I had that feeling the whole time listening to it. I was like, I can tell you are open to saying anything, and you know it might happen, and that's why you're nervous. And you're nervous about how people are going to take what you say. Like, for example, he said something which I loved hearing this. First of all, it was very honest, and honestly, like, people are lying if they say anything different than what he said. But he said he is so sensitive to sound, which I don't second guess for a second. He is a savant. He's a musical savant. He probably is. So he says that at his concerts, when he, you know, puts the mic out and like gets everybody to sing, and they're singing off key, he goes, there's nothing worse than something being wrong musically. Like, sonically, I need it to be correct. And he also did name some instances where the incorrect part of music can be the most beautiful part of it. But he's like talking about singing off key, and he's talking about, you know, when I like seeing my fans sing everything because they love the music and they're here to have this experience. He goes, but I'm gonna be honest, like, I want to puke, I want to cry. Like, he was saying, I want to cry when I hear bad singing. And I thought that was hilarious, because same.
But and though, it just speaks to the fact, like, he is so intertwined with music that he uses it. Like, so he was just talking too about how music is such an integral part of his brain pattern and the way that he lives his everyday life. Like, there's always a song in his head, and he uses it to comfort himself. A couple of different times during the interview, his emotions start to kind of take over, and he comes back to the piano and starts playing a few notes, and he's instantly like kind of snapped back into the moment.
That's how we got to
yes. And it's so powerful to see the way that he views music and art. And I think that it's cool because for masculinity specifically too, I don't think that there is a lot of times that men feel comfortable enough to share like those vulnerable parts of themselves, and he really let it all go, and he got emotional a few times, and he really was so raw and honest, and it felt very masculine in a way that was just so refreshing to see. Like, he was so happy to share, and it felt like it was relieving to him in some ways to share. And I can relate to that so much, where you have things where you're unintentionally bottling up your true feelings, your true emotions. And then when you have an opportunity to talk about them, how you don't even know how you're going to respond to them because it's been inside of you bottled up for so long. And I just encourage anyone to listen to this interview. It's so great. The man who interviewed him, his name was Brandon. Even if you don't really like know anything about Charlie Puth, I think that we can all relate to his kind of, it's almost as though he's having like this coming of age thing happen before your eyes in this interview. And it was so great. It's called The Person Who Believed in Me by David Begnaud, Begnaud. The Person Who Believed in Me, Begnaud, maybe. And it's a podcast with Charlie Puth, and I really encourage you to listen to it. It's so powerful, and I really can't stop thinking about it.
No, it was really good. I loved it.
It made me...
I'm excited for his new album.
Me too. He's already got... he has a song with Kenny G. And he has a previous album that from when you and I went to go see him on tour. He has a song with Boyz II Men that I made Scooby-Doo listen to on the way to school today. And it's all a cappella. Boyz II Men. God, they were so good. So good.
So good. I have to tell y'all about this Turnt movie we watched the other night.
Okay.
It was Turnt. It's called... Hold on. So I've talked about that me and J-Dog have been watching...
the Oscar movies.
Yes, Oscar movies. Here we go. The Ghost in the Darkness. Okay. 1996. Val Kilmer's in it. Michael Douglas. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown.
Give me a synopsis.
Val Kilmer, which such a random human, because I wasn't really aware in his heyday.
In terms of how many kind of different roles he's played?
Yes.
Yeah,
all
me too. Me too.
And especially because we're watching all these 90s movies, he'll pop up and I'll be like, Val, what are you doing here?
Yeah, because wasn't he also Batman?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all I'm seeing is Batman's lower face talk. So yeah, that's something to note for sure. So Val Kilmer is which can't tell you what his accent's supposed to be, but he is coming from the States. He is in 1886 or something. I'm getting the year wrong, but just, we travel by train. We've got a telegram.
Old timey.
Yes. Do, like Morse code times.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
So Val Kilmer is an engineer, like an architect. He builds bridges, okay? He gets I guess he works for the States, the government.
The States, the United States.
Yes. He gets pulled in, and this colonel is like, I don't care what you got to do. You build this bridge. We got to build this bridge. We're going, blah. And it's in Africa. So this guy, and by the way, his wife, 6 months pregnant. Okay. Beautiful.
Is she also in Africa with him?
No, she stays back in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets on the boat and he travels to Europe, to Africa, gets to Africa. There are a lot of, I'm not going to do the voices because there's a lot of different voices.
Dialects, sure.
Because they have a lot of different characters. And they're trying to show that all of these people are coming together and they all have the same goal to build this bridge because they want this railroad built in Africa. Okay. So Val goes and they're like, hey, Val, we got an ish. And he's like, what? I'm the best bridge builder there ever were. And they were like, no, dude, there's a lion. And by the way, we think there's 3. There's lions and they're eating everybody. So we can't finish the bridge because people keep getting 8.
Oh.
Okay, so he's like, I got this. I'm a skilled hunter. And that's part of the reason why they asked me to take this job, which, interesting. Can you build a bridge and can you shoot a lion? Anyway.
But maybe back in the day, that was a really important thing because maybe you needed to defend his house.
From wildlife. That makes sense.
I guess.
So anyway, he stays up the first night. This is night 1. Kills the lion. Okay, so everybody's celebrating. They're like throwing that butt in a circle. Guess what?
There's
You
another?
just killed the son. Mommy and daddy are angry. And actually, I think they're brothers or something. It's all guys.
It's Scar and Mufasa.
Yes. And so these lions killed this, everybody, killing all these people. Not all of a sudden in the middle of the movie, Michael Douglas shows up and he's randomly with a tribe, an African tribe. And he's like their leader, which was questionable. But he's kind of like a cowboy. Oh. It makes no sense why he's their leader.
He's a white man cowboy leader of an African tribe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I don't know if I would say cowboy. He's like a Western. You know what I mean? Like he's a outlaw. Anyway, he's doing all these funky dances and he's like, we're going to kill this lion. So him and Val try to kill this lion by making contraptions.
How many people do you think the lions have killed at this point in the movie?
At this point, when Michael Douglas gets there, at least 40.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea this was a lion movie when you started it? Like it doesn't have any.
No.
It has no, like the title.
I just thought
lean itself to that.
No, because by the way, then they called the locals called the lions the ghost of the darkness because at night they'd come out.
Okay.
But they would come out during the day and do attacks, which wasn't normal. And also Michael Douglas and Val ended up stumbling upon their lair and it was just all bones and it was hundreds and hundreds of human skeletons where the lions took their prey or their prey. Yep.
Yeah, their prey.
Well, their trophies. And they said, this is not normal. And then the next night, Michael Douglas.
He got.
But at the end, Val was reunited with his wife and his baby and he lived happily ever after. Everybody around him died though. So literally everyone in this movie died except Val.
I have to tell you what I thought you were going to say about this movie because once you said the title, the way I'm wired is I automatically tried to finish it for you. I tried to finish the whole sentence, the whole everything.
The ghost and the darkness.
What I thought you were going to say was that Val Kilmer is in Africa. His wife is back home pregnant in New York. That something happens. There's an accident. Val passes away in Africa and that he goes on a ghostly journey back to New York to visit his wife. Like,
you know what?
As a ghost.
That would have been my guess too.
That I thought that was going to go on like a ghost journey story to try.
By the way, J-Dog just said, "Oh, let's watch this."
Do you know what I do?
And I didn't know
what year did this come out?
1996.
Okay, there was a time during the 90s where wildlife was an integral part of a lot of different films.
Tarzan,
and we were using the real deal too. We were using real animals.
Which this got nominated. I didn't realize we weren't just watching the best films.
There was a lot of like safari
We're watching
core.
all different types of Oscar nominated. So this was not Oscar nominated for having the best and won for special effects, which is true because you could tell when there was a real lion, but like the whole time I wasn't taken out by the lion. It was the storyline that was getting me. It wasn't the lion that was getting me.
Yeah, and I guess too when you look at it for that nomination, you can be like for the time that it probably was expensive and good CGI.
And they were, it was good.
But the storyline,
no, it was crazy.
Yeah, that feels, and it also again just feels a little like the lions. They killed everybody
also
before you got to them. Like I don't know.
They would be. I mean, they like shot these lions in the face. Trigger warning. I said it before. I said trigger warning, so that doesn't work.
That's okay. It's a movie.
And
it's a feature film.
This is fake, guys, and you don't see it.
It is fake.
Yeah, it's just a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. You're an adult. It's fake. You should know that.
How did your boyfriend feel about you kissing other boys on screen?
It's a movie. It's pretend. You're an adult. You should know that.
We love you, Brittany.
We love you. Okay. Sorry, I just got nervous. But
why? That I was gonna go more on Brit.
I don't know.
No, that's all I was gonna say.
I was being vulnerable.
It's okay. You're doing good.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I gotta
Yeah,
tell you,
but-
I'm kind of mad at that movie. I think I would have been mad that I watched
wait,
it. Were
guys,
you mad about it?
I was mad, especially at this one point where, and J-Dog had seen it one other time, so he remembered this part.
Seen it.
But all of a sudden,
He should have just marked it off his list.
no, he just wants to torture me. I've decided.
Oh my Lord.
But actually, a lot of these movies are really good. But so at one point, he has his wife coming to visit, and he looks in the grass, and the African grass swaying back and forth, and he sees a lion start to come get her, and she turns around
To get his
with
wife?
the baby, and the lion literally grabs her and the baby and kills them, and then he wakes up, and it was a nightmare. And I said, "Why did you make me believe that was real for a second?" I said, "Oh no." I looked at him and I go, "They're not really," because they were just killing every character.
I gotta tell you, I would have been big mad if I watched this
No,
movie
I
only to
would've
find
turned it
out
off if they killed the baby.
that J-Dog had already seen it.
Oh.
I would have been big mad. I'd have been like, absolutely.
Well, he'll say,
not.
and he'll wait until the end. He's like, "I've said this one other time."
Okay, J-Dog.
When I was 7.
He's withholding information, which is the same as lying. You're lying through omission. He fucking already listened or watched it.
Listen, he watched the full Hannah Montana 20th anniversary before
Okay,
this.
fair.
So I'm not gonna,
He had the limo out front.
Yeah.
He said, "Hop in this limo. We're going to my
he
side
said,
of town
"We're gonna
now."
have the best of both worlds
He said,
right
"We really
here,
are."
right now."
He said, "Rawr."
And I said, "Nobody's perfect, and
Good
you
Lord.
certainly are not." with
There was
these
definitely
pigs.
some sort of like safari core happening with 90s movies.
Yes, a lot of khaki.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like when you think of the
Yeah.
90s, I think of a man in khaki.
A lot of khaki vests with a lot of
Think about
pockets.
Twister. Think about
Yeah, a lot of safari
Think about
core.
like Steve Irwin, R.I.P. Think about Tarzan.
It was just, we were discovering,
both Tarzans, both live action and Phil Collins.
I think we were just really
Cartoons.
discovering wildlife, because I also remember
We were discovering wildlife.
I remember too, there was just a big emphasis on endangered species in the 90s.
Jane Goodall.
Yeah, so I
R.I.P.
feel like we were really leaning into khaki and pockets and
Cargo.
hats with little strings underneath them.
a little fishing hat,
A lace-up boot, a
a
Timberland.
lace boot, a Timberland, a duck boot, some flannel.
A button-up shirt.
Now we're just naming everyday items.
But
that people have in their homes.
But you know what we did not have in the 90s? We
What?
didn't have any camo. It was just khaki.
That's not true.
I didn't well,
One
unless
time
it was
I-
an army movie.
One
But I'm talking
time
about
I-
safaris.
Okay, well, yeah, you don't wear camo.
But why not?
because you don't want a hunter to not see you. You want people to
I guess
see you.
I just feel like you would have a better chance blending. But I guess too,
No,
if
I
you're
guess,
in the
but
desert,
African
but if
safaris
you're in
are
the-
brown,
If you're in
yeah.
the desert, there's not a lot of green shit to hide behind, unless you're wearing like a cactus outfit. Also, that's not even in Africa. I don't know. Whatever. I'm sorry, but I really just can't stop thinking about how every woman in the 90s had on some kind of khaki cargo situation and a hat with a little string underneath their chin. Do you think that'll come back? If anybody's going to bring it back, it's Banana
Yeah.
Republic.
or the Gap.
The
Gap's gonna try.
Banana Republic, if you can hear me. Bring back 90s safari core. We're ready.
I know. We're ready.
We want to go on adventures too.
The lake people.
We want to go on adventures too.
Wow,
Bring
it
it back.
really was like because the wild thornberries. Like I'm thinking, I'm thinking of all these,
Oh
and
my
I know
God.
that there are more. There are more that I'm not thinking
I'm
of.
thinking about like Laura Dern. Wasn't she?
There's a lot of dinosaurs.
Wasn't she in
too.
Jurassic
She was
Park?
in Jurassic
Okay, so
Park.
Khaki.
Khakis. Also, Laura Dern was in everything. So was Laura Linney.
She was, yeah. And they all wore safari core.
Yes. Also, why in the 90s, if a woman was like supposed to be strong, she always had some kind of like haircut.
Now we're talking like Sarah. What's Terminator?
Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah, like she always had some kind of defining haircut. Like when I was talking about Laura Linney and that Primal Fear. Yes, Primal Fear was the movie with Richard Gere.
Hello.
The other day. that I told you that we watched, where he was so handsome and he had one of those 90s haircuts like Dennis Quaid did in A Parent Trap.
Yeah, as a coif.
A coif, yes. Yes.
As a coif.
He had a coif. And and we're about to bring back the coif. We are, because JFK
the Kangol hats and coifs.
Yes.
And khaki.
In khaki. Well, in cargo.
Yep.
Anyway, she had some kind of haircut, and I don't know what to say about it, but all I said the whole time is, look at that. Look at that haircut. You know what I mean? Like, she means business.
That's
Miranda
right.
Hobbs.
There was definitely...
She had a pixie because she meant business.
There was definitely, like, if you were a strong woman and you were smart also, you had a really... you spent a lot of time on a structured hairdo.
And you had a cigarette. You had a sure.
You had mousse, gel, pomade, and a cig. And a dream.
Yeah.
Ate a bad attitude.
If you want to play a drinking game, watch Primal Fear, and every time Laura Linney lights a cig, take a shot. You're going to be wasted in 2 scenes.
Or light a cig yourself.
Yeah.
Just light your own
You're
cig.
going to have...
How many cigs are you smoking by
the end of this film? Like, for sure.
God, cigs. I actually just saw on the World Wide Web a collection of Virginia Slim old print advertisements.
Oh, and
they had every hot supermodel back in the day peddling Virginia Slims. They was smoking them. I mean, I'm sure they weren't, but they were smoking Virginia Slims.
They actually might have been.
They might have been.
I feel like that was a big 90s thing for people to they wanted to be skinny, so they smoked cigarettes.
And you drink black coffee.
Yeah. Wow.
And then you wear khaki core.
And you do that and you have a haircut.
And
you're doing it. I've got to say it like this. You've got a haircut.
You got a haircut. It's not even a do, it's a cut.
You got a cut. You got a styled
cut my hair into pieces.
This is my last pixie cut.
Going on
not breathing because I'm worried about my forehead receding.
Oh my gosh. That really.
This is my last haircut. Wow, I'm crying.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know why they always had some kind of haircut.
No, this is not a flattering outfit for me today.
Like that either, but it's just how I feel.
Because it's a cut. So now I think nowadays we're all like blending our layers and making things nice and soft. But it wasn't.
We're very like acceptable now.
Now
like,
it's like
we just
cut your hair.
Yeah, like what? Like,
and now it's like I want some soft face framing layers, and I just really kind of want it all to blend. But in the 90s, it was like cut it up, cut the hair up.
That's how it was. But it's really cool.
Now we have hairstylists, but back in the day we had hair cutters. It's not even that funny.
I'm trying to think of people, and I'm thinking of like sorry, you're making these faces.
Wait, you're trying to think of what people?
The people who had haircuts.
Oh my god. Honestly, it was like
I'm not okay.
Anybody that had like, okay, so this one is going to be a deep cut. Caroline Ray from Sabrina and the Teenage Witch. She had a haircut.
She did. I'm sorry.
Kate Gosselin had a haircut.
I'm sorry.
In Crossroads, Britney Spears had a haircut.
Wait, she did?
Josie and the Pussycat Dolls. Who is that girl?
She had a haircut. Yes. Sorry.
Oh, Mandy Moore at one point had a haircut, like a big haircut.
What I'm really thinking about too is in motocross, which also I'm like, this is kind of a messed up name now because she's motocross dressing.
What?
Is that why they do that?
No,
I've got a call.
Why do they call it cross dressing?
Because
you're crossing genders.
She's trying to, yes.
No, but they don't call motocross. Wait. Oh,
because the movie's called Motocross, and she had a
about?
haircut.
Is it about a girl pretending to be a boy?
Yes.
Then yeah, that's why they call it that.
And that's kind of messed up. I'm just realizing. Motocrossed.
She had a haircut.
Genders. And she had to get a pixie cut.
Yeah. Anything that had a nice choppy
She had
layer.
green nail polish.
If it had a choppy layer, it was a cut.
Like,
Yeah.
wow.
We'll post some examples. If you're lost,
Gwen
don't worry.
Stefani.
Big haircut.
What? I'm crying. Like, I'm trying to think of other people, but like, it's just like in the 90s, if you were a character, or the early 2000s, if you were a character that was not to
The
be.
Olsen twins had haircuts because they had the short ones that flipped out on the sides.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Also
all the
known
moms had
as
haircuts. Lizzie McGuire's mom had a haircut.
She did. She
all
said,
the
I mean business.
All the 90s moms on every sitcom and every movie had haircuts because they were chopped up.
Yes, they chopped. The mom in Incredibles, haircut.
Chopped up.
Yes.
Chopped up. And now today the kids say that they're chopped because they think they're not attractive. But it wasn't that in the 90s. You were chopped up and you were fly.
Or Fudge Ace Bob.
That's
the same idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember Angelica's mom?
No,
with her pony.
She had a pony.
She had a serious do. She's a cartoon, so she doesn't count as much. But like, think of it. If you had a signature do that demanded attention.
You know, Catherine O'Hara in Home Alone had a haircut.
Because she was the mother. She was mother.
Yeah. So you're welcome. Honestly, you're welcome. And you're never going to look at anyone ever the same. And whenever you see somebody with a chopped up hair, and I'm not saying unattractive, I mean chopped up 90s do, I want you to look at them and say, you're rocking that haircut. Because that's exactly what it is. Nowadays, we're too soft.
Khakis.
We're too soft now.
Khakis.
We're all too soft. We need to go back to the haircuts. Now we get our hair done. We used to get our hair cut.
It used to be a hair don't. And now it's a hairdo.
It's a hairdo. And we need to go back. But I want you to embrace get choppy. Next hair appointment, get choppy. Maybe I'm going to chop some bangerangs.
Listen, every time I go, and I just went and got my hair done, I love what my girl does. Christina at 5th of May. She's amazing. She's amazing. I love what she does. I don't think, actually I know this, she does not want to give me bangs.
No bangerangs.
I'm always like, can we just cut?
But I've always heard that if you had a voluptuous forehead, bangerangs were the way to go.
I have fine hair, and I think she knows they're going to be sparse bangs. Or can you imagine like me with like Q-tips?
Or maybe they would get like greasy easily because we have big foreheads and they lay straight on your greasy forehead.
Yeah, she has her reasons. She's like, Hailey, I understand
what you want.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I respect that out of a hairdoer because I don't know what I don't know. You see millions of heads, and but
I want bangs.
I think you should start with a curtain bang.
That's what we try to do, but like it just, I don't think I have enough.
You need
hair.
a haircut. No, you got to chop it up. Yeah, you don't need it.
Maybe I need just bang extensions.
I think you need to get a clip-on bangerang.
Yeah.
I've thought about that many a times.
Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I just get like real nice clip bangerangs right here,
and then you can just put like a little thick headband on top to cover the little seamy, and then just see what.
No, I'm gonna get it tied in. I'm gonna get the bangs tied in.
You're gonna get extensions.
Yeah, I'm gonna get.
You're gonna get it sewn in.
I'm gonna get a lace front.
You're gonna get a lace front bangerang.
Yes,
just the extensions up front.
Anything.
You're gonna get sewn in from the front.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, slay.
Maybe we'll add some texture here and there.
No.
We'll add some volume.
No, that sounds
just
good.
Like really thick bangs and then my fine hair everywhere else.
And it'll look good.
I'll have like an animal living up here.
And you'll say,
I got a haircut.
She got a haircut.
Because I mean business. Do you know what I mean though? Like these women just really, like if they needed you to be.
And they got it done.
And you were chain smoking.
The mom from Seventh Heaven. Haircut. It was a bob.
Bob. She had a lob.
She did,
but it was a strong
with
lob,
a strong bang.
Cut.
It was blunt cut. That's right. That's exactly right. Wow. I feel like on that note, we have to rate, review, subscribe. I want to stop right there. This is magical.
This is
everything we just described was good. And if you don't share this episode with a friend, what's wrong with you?
Well, then you don't want them to have a haircut.
You don't want to share.
You don't want them to LOL about cargo pants.
Please rate, review, subscribe. Subscribe. Please send this episode to a friend with a blunt cut. And please do me a favor and
listen to the ads.
And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because Hailey and I are about to cut that up.
We are about to cut it up.
We're about to start posting not subscription only, but we're supposed to start posting content there that you can only see via YouTube. Via the World Wide Web. So please subscribe there. Please know that we love you. Please don't do anything we wouldn't do. And we will see you next Thursday.
Janine, take us home, sis.